All right, let's jump right in. Today we're tackling advertising copy, and I'm so pumped we're using How to Write a Good Advertisement by Victor O. Schwab as our guide.
This guy, Victor Schwab, was a total legend.
Right, 44 years in the copywriting world, and he specialized in mail order, which is like the ultimate test of whether your words actually make people do something.
No room for fluff in mail order. Every word has to sell.
Exactly. And what blows my mind is how relevant Schwab's insights still are, even though this book was published way back in 1961.
Yeah, the book might be vintage, but the psychology of persuasion, it's timeless.
Totally. And Schwab doesn't shy away from the hard stuff. Like right off the bat, he points out that most people don't want to read ads. It's a battle for their attention.
He uses this great metaphor, saying an ad needs to offer a reward for reading.
I love that. It has to be so good that it's easier to read than to skip. But how do you actually do that?
Well, Schwab analyzed 100 successful headlines to figure out what makes them tick. And he shares some real gems.
Oh, yeah. He breaks down all sorts of techniques. Like one headline that jumped out at me was, "Who ever heard of a woman losing weight and enjoying 3 delicious meals at the same time?"
That one hits you right in the curiosity, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You can't help but want to know the answer.
For sure. And it plays on that desire for a solution that seems almost too good to be true.
Exactly. And then there's this one. Hands that look lovelier in 24 hours. Or your money back.
That's a classic. It's got the urgency, the specific result, and the guarantee to eliminate any doubts.
Schwab was way ahead of his time with that one.
And I love how he emphasizes using you in headlines to make them more personal.
Oh, yeah, like you're speaking directly to the reader.
Right. Like this one. Discover the fortune that lies hidden in your salary. It's like the ad is whispering a secret just for you.
Makes you feel special, like there's something in it for you specifically.
Totally. And Schwab points out that even longer headlines can work if they're well-structured and benefit-driven.
Especially if they address any skepticism the reader might have right up front.
Okay, now for a little fun. Schwab tells this story about a guy named Max Hart who was convinced people wouldn't read long copy.
Max Hart, huh?
Yeah. And Schwab's advertising manager, George Dyer, bet him he could write a whole page of solid text that Hart would devour.
What a challenge. So how'd he do it?
The headline was "Pure Genius. This page is all about Max Hart."
Oh, come on. That's brilliant. I mean, who wouldn't read a whole page about themselves?
Exactly. It proves Schwab's point perfectly. Tap into people's self-interest and they'll be hooked.
It all comes down to understanding what people truly desire.
Right. And that's where Schwab's mail order experience really shines. He talks about these 14 major desires that drive people.
Things they want to gain, things they want to be, do, and save. The whole spectrum of human wants.
It's fascinating how he breaks it all down. He even includes these little imaginary monologues of people yearning for things, like a young woman terrified of making the wrong decision when buying a dress.
Oh, I remember that one. She's
Wow.
so worried about what people will think.
It's such a relatable fear, and it highlights that universal desire for security and reassurance.
We all want to feel like we're making the right choices.
Absolutely. And then Schwab throws in this line, "You're only here once, and you just can't take it with you," which speaks to a whole different desire.
The desire to enjoy life.
Right.
To savor experiences, to make the most of our time here.
Exactly. It's about realizing that life is short and that we should embrace the things that bring us joy.
Makes you think. And it shows how good copywriting can connect with those deep human desires.
It's not just about selling a product, it's about tapping into what makes people tick.
Yeah, those fundamental motivations that drive our actions.
And I think that's what makes Schwab's work so powerful. He understood human nature, and he knew how to use that understanding to craft persuasive messages.
He was a master of his craft.
He was. All right, so we've talked about headlines, desires. Now let's move on to another key ingredient, credibility.
Because grabbing attention is only half the battle, right?
You've got it. You have to make people believe you. And Schwab dedicates a whole chapter to proving your claims.
That makes sense. People might be drawn in by a catchy headline, but they need more than just words to convince them.
Exactly. And he talks about how even if someone's decision is ultimately emotional, they still want facts to justify it.
We like to think we're rational beings.
Right. So Schwab breaks down these different types of proof you can use, like construction evidence, which focuses on the quality of materials and the expertise involved.
So basically showing that your product is well made and built to last.
Yep. Then there's performance evidence. This is all about testimonials and user experiences.
The classic, it worked for me, so it'll work for you approach.
Exactly. And Schwab even tells this story about Baron Rothschild, whose mere presence at a bank was enough to secure a loan for someone. Talk about a powerful endorsement.
That's incredible. Just his reputation alone carried so much weight.
And then there's expert evidence, which is all about endorsements from trusted authorities in their field.
Think doctors recommending a certain brand of medicine.
Right. And finally, there's test evidence, like offering guarantees, free trials, or money-back guarantees.
Anything to reduce the risk for the customer and give them a reason to try it out?
Exactly. But Schwab also cautions against going overboard. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Right, you don't want to come across as pushy or insincere.
Exactly. It's all about finding that balance, showcasing the benefits, but backing them up with credible evidence.
Inspiring confidence, not skepticism.
Perfect. So we've got attention, desire, credibility. What are we missing?
What makes people actually take that leap and buy something?
Okay, before we jump into that, let's pause for a second and talk about a mistake a lot of people make when rating copy:
Oh, what's that?
being too vague. Schwab hates vague claims. He's all about clarity and precision.
Specificity is king, right?
Absolutely. And this goes back to his mail order background. Those ads had to be crystal clear to get results.
No room for ambiguity when you're relying on people to mail in a check.
Exactly. And Schwarty believed that specificity isn't just important for advertising, it's essential for any kind of effective communication.
Makes sense. The more specific you are, the easier it is for people to understand what you're saying.
And visualize the benefits. It's like you're painting a picture with your words.
I like that. Specificity as a form of word painting.
So we're talking specificity, painting that clear picture for the reader, but then what's the next step? How do you actually get them to take action?
Ah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Turning interest into action.
Exactly. And luckily, Schwab has some answers for us. He calls it the ask for action principle.
Makes sense. Don't leave people hanging. Tell them what to do next.
Right. He emphasizes giving clear instructions and guiding the reader towards a specific action.
Like visit our website or call today for a free quote.
Exactly. Or mail in this order form, back in his mail order days.
Yeah.
And he also stresses the importance of urgency. Give people a reason to act now rather than later.
Like a limited time offer or a bonus for acting quickly.
Exactly. He even uses this example of a vague invitation that just says, come see us sometime, and no one shows up because it's so wishy-washy.
Too vague, no clear call to action.
Yep. Like, come see us, maybe, if you feel like it. No pressure. Of course no one shows up.
It's funny how such a simple thing as a clear call to action can make all the difference.
It really does. But speaking of things that can make a difference, let's talk about copy length. How much is enough?
Ah, the eternal question. Short and sweet or long and detailed?
Right. And Schwab actually devotes an entire chapter to this. He debunks the myth that copy always needs to be short.
Interesting. So it's not always about brevity.
Not necessarily. He emphasizes that every word has to earn its place, but it doesn't mean it has to be super short. He compares good copy to a preacher who keeps his congregation engaged.
I love that analogy. So it's about holding the reader's attention, whether you do it in a few words or a few pages.
Exactly. And he outlines several factors that influence the ideal length.
Okay, like what?
Well, the complexity of the product, for one.
Right. A more complex product probably requires more explanation.
Exactly. You might need to educate the reader before you can even start persuading them.
Makes sense. So complexity is one factor. What else?
The intended action you want the reader to take. Are you simply raising awareness, or are you trying to drive a purchase right then and there?
Ah, that's a big difference. Just getting on someone's radar versus getting them to pull out their wallet.
Right. And Schwab even talks about how the medium matters.
Oh, yeah. Like newspaper versus a magazine?
Exactly. Newspaper readers are often skimming, so you have to be concise. But magazine readers might be more willing to spend time with a longer, more in-depth piece.
Fascinating how he breaks it all down.
He does. And one last factor he mentions is the inherent appeal of the product.
Okay, so some products are just naturally more appealing than others.
Right. What he calls natural products. They solve an obvious problem or meet a universal need.
So they practically sell themselves.
Kind of. You can focus more on highlighting the benefits and less on convincing the reader that they need the product in the first place.
So copy length isn't a one-size-fits-all thing.
Not at all. And Schwab gives us this great framework for making those decisions instead of just relying on our gut.
It's a more strategic approach to copywriting.
Totally. considering all these different factors, the product, the audience, the desired outcome.
And that's what makes Schwab so brilliant. He provides these timeless principles that apply to so much more than just advertising.
I agree. It's like a masterclass in effective communication.
Because ultimately, good writing is about understanding people, what motivates them, what they desire, what makes them tick.
And then crafting a message that resonates with those deep-seated emotions and motivations.
Exactly. It's about respecting the reader's time and intelligence.
And providing them with valuable information in a clear, engaging, and persuasive way.
Absolutely. And it all comes down to results.
Driving action, achieving that desired outcome.
Schwab himself said it best. It is always better to have a few people read your advertisement and buy your product than to have a lot of them read it and do nothing about it.
That's such a powerful statement. It's a reminder that effectiveness trumps reach every time.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly. But it also makes you wonder, doesn't it? Schwab was writing in a world before the internet.
A pre-digital age.
Right. No social media, no search engines, no online advertising. How do his principles hold up in this new landscape where attention is even more fragmented and competition is fiercer than ever?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is. Do his insights on headlines and copywriting still work when we're crafting tweets, writing website content, or creating video ads?
And what about all the new challenges digital advertising presents? Think about targeting. We can reach incredibly specific audiences now.
It's like laser-focused messaging.
Exactly. How does that change our approach? And what about the rise of influencer marketing and the importance of social proof?
It's a whole new layer added on top of Schwab's principles.
Right. It's like we're taking his ideas and remixing them for the digital age.
We are, and it's up to us to figure out how to adapt and apply these timeless principles in this constantly evolving world.
But I think one thing remains constant: human psychology.
Absolutely. People still crave connection, they still desire solutions, they still seek value.
And that's what makes Schwab's work so enduring. He tapped into those fundamental human needs.
And those needs haven't changed, even if the ways we communicate have. So much has changed in advertising since Schwab's time. But as we've been talking, it feels like the core principles he laid out are more relevant than ever.
It's wild, right? It's like this old book is suddenly a playbook for navigating the digital world.
Totally. And what strikes me is that how to write a good advertisement isn't just for like professional copywriters anymore.
It's for anyone who wants to communicate effectively.
Exactly. Emails, social media posts, even just writing a killer presentation at work.
Schwab's insights apply across the board.
They do. I'm picturing him geeking out over email subject lines, using his headline analysis techniques to craft the perfect one.
Oh, for sure. He'd be all about A/B testing different subject lines to see what gets the most opens.
Absolutely. And think about his emphasis on specificity. That's so crucial in today's world.
Right. People are bombarded with information. You've got to cut through the noise.
Exactly. Whether it's an email, a website, or even just a text message, you have to be clear and concise. No one has time to decipher vague messages.
It's like Schwab's book is a masterclass in getting to the point.
It is. But here's a curveball for you. How do Schwab's principles hold up against something like influencer marketing? That barely existed in his time.
Influencer marketing. It's interesting because it actually ties back to one of Schwab's core ideas. Remember how he emphasized testimonials and endorsements?
Oh, yeah. Social proof has always been powerful.
Exactly. Influencer marketing is basically that, but amplified. It's all about leveraging the trust and credibility that influencers have with their followers.
It makes sense. People are more likely to buy something if someone they trust recommends it.
Right. And it goes back to that idea that even when a decision feels emotional, people still want reasons to justify it.
We like to think we're making rational choices.
Exactly. And social proof helps us feel more confident in those choices.
So even though the landscape has changed, Schwab's principles are still at play.
They are. But it's not all sunshine and roses. This new world of influencer marketing also brings up some ethical questions that Schwab didn't really have to deal with.
That's true. Authenticity and transparency are huge these days.
Absolutely. Consumers are savvy. They can spot a fake endorsement a mile away. So it's more important than ever for brands and influencers to be upfront about their relationships.
No more hiding behind sneaky sponsorships.
Right. And that brings us back to one of Schwab's fundamental principles: building trust.
Trust is everything.
It is. You can have the most amazing product in the world, but if people don't trust you, they're not going to buy it.
So no amount of clever copywriting can replace genuine trust.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to approach marketing ethically.
It's not just about making a quick buck.
It's about building long-term relationships with your customers,
Relationships based on honesty, transparency, and mutual respect.
because that's what creates true loyalty.
I agree. And I think that's something Schwab would have appreciated.
He was all about building trust and creating win-win situations.
He was. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, it's clear that Schwab's insights are as valuable today as they were back then.
His work is a testament to the enduring power of human psychology.
Because even though the channels and platforms have changed, people haven't really changed that much.
We still respond to the same basic principles of persuasion.
We do. So
Right.
whether you're writing an ad, an email, a social media post, or even just having a conversation, remember the wisdom of Victor Schwab.
Grab attention, build credibility, and always, always make it clear what action you want people to take.
And most importantly, do it with integrity.
Because at the end of the day, marketing is about building connections, not just closing deals.
Well said. That's a wrap on our deep dive into the world of advertising copywriting with Victor O. Schwab. We hope you've enjoyed the journey.
And we hope you've gained some valuable insights that you can use to make your own writing more persuasive and effective.
So until next time, keep diving deep and keep those creative juices flowing.